The world as we know it is about to undergo a profound transformation. The BRICS nations, an economic alliance of giants, are now poised to reshape the very foundation of the oil industry when their new members KSA, UAE, and Iran arrive. Which nations will be affected by this new revolution, and what will be their fate in this field? As the BRICS alliance takes center stage, rewriting the rules and asserting dominance over the entire global oil supplies and prices, prepare to witness a monumental shift in the energy landscape, where alliances are forged, strategies unfold, and the future of oil hangs in the balance. If you've been following the world of powerful economies, then you've probably heard of the BRICS group. The BRICS group was originally known as BRIC when it included only Brazil, Russia, India, and China. South Africa later joined the grouping, leading to the inclusion of the letter S and the establishment of BRICS in 2010. The BRICS group is like the Avengers of the global economy. The group holds annual summits and conducts discussions on a wide range of topics, including economics, trade, technology, and global governance. BRICS nations have, at various times, expressed a desire for increased cooperation in areas such as trade, investment, and development financing. They have also advocated for reforms in international financial institutions like the International Monetary Fund, IMF, and the World Bank to better reflect the changing global economic landscape. You can just imagine them in a top-secret headquarters, sipping chai tea, vodka, and South African wine, all while discussing how to save the world from economic supervillains. Maybe they even have a secret handshake that involves trading stocks and making complex international trade deals. But seriously, the BRICS group is indeed a powerhouse in the world of economics, and their cooperation can have a significant impact on the global stage. While they might not have capes, they're certainly a force to be reckoned with in the financial world. Each of the BRICS countries brings its own unique strengths and challenges to the group, and their collective efforts can have a significant impact on global economic and geopolitical dynamics. The BRICS nations have the potential to play a pivotal role in shaping the future of the global economy and international relations. On August 24th, they decided the group needed a little expansion. They looked around and thought, we need some more colors in this mix, and perhaps some extra strength too. And where did their eyes land? Right on MENA, which stands for the Middle East and North Africa. And just a fun fact for you, this region is like the treasure chest of oil supplies, but here's where it gets spicy. They're rolling out the welcome mat for Argentina, Egypt, Iran, Ethiopia, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE. That's right, 6 heavy hitters joined the party. And when's the grand entrance? On January 1st, 2024. So, as we toast to the new year, these countries will be putting on their BRICS badges, making quite the entrance. So you might be thinking, why should this expansion be on my radar? Well, this move is like giving BRICS a brand new supercharged engine. It's going to breathe fresh life into how they operate and supersize their game plan in shaping the world's wallet. Imagine BRICS hitting the gym and coming out even more pumped and ready to take on the global economic scene. This isn't just about numbers. It's about redefining power structures.
It also hints at changes in how oil flows and trades globally, something that can affect all of us at the pump. But speaking of numbers, let's dive into some that are sure to raise eyebrows. China, a BRICS heavyweight, and the world's second-largest economy, has been a major player, helping BRICS account for about a quarter of the world's total economic output.
Flashback to 2022. BRICS raked in an eye-watering $25.9 trillion, making up 25.6% of the global economy. Global dynamics are shifting, and with these new members, BRICS is aiming to be at the helm. What's BRICS aiming for in 2023 with their new team members? If you guessed they're aiming for around $30 trillion, you're right. They want to grab a big share of the world's money, about 29%. But there's more to BRICS's plan. They're not just after making a lot of money, they want to become major players in global trade. Currently, they have a small slice of the world's trade, about 20.2%. But next year, they're planning to increase it significantly to 25.1%, reshaping the oil industry. Along with the BRICS expansion, the oil game is getting a major shakeup. With the BRICS group inviting KSA, the UAE, and Iran on board, we're about to see some seismic shifts in the global oil scene. As we've already mentioned, these new countries from the Middle East and North Africa have the upper hand as they have these vast oil supplies. Think of it this way. they're ramping up their piece of the global oil pie from a respectable 20% to a whopping 40%. That's double the oil power. And for those who love their stats, the U.S. Energy Information Administration vouches for this. But let's break it down. Here's a spotlight on three oil giants from 2022: KSA, the UAE, and Iran. Together, these big players dominated, holding a combined 21% of the world's oil in their grasp. And get this, among the trio, KSA was the superstar, flexing its muscles and delivering a whopping 13% all on its own. That's right, 13%. And that's not us just throwing numbers around. It's straight from the Statistical Review of World Energy Data. Speaking of the big players, let's shine the spotlight on the KSA and Russia for a moment. These two powerhouses, they're pouring out more than a quarter of the world's oil. Now that's a dynamic duo. But here's where it gets even more intriguing. This supersized BRICS doesn't just boast the big-time oil and gas exporters. They've got more cards up their sleeve. Enter China and India, the world's oil consumers. Picture them at a grand feast, gobbling up oil like there's no tomorrow. Last year alone, these two giants had 30% of their enormous oil hunger quenched by just two suppliers, Russia and KSA. So this isn't just about new members in a group. It's about reshaping the global energy map. Keep your engines running and your eyes peeled, because the BRICS expansion might just change the way our world guzzles and trades oil. The world's oil landscape might just be in for a big reshuffle. With Iran and the UAE joining the BRICS Plus team, there's more than just economics at play. This move is a game changer, pushing the BRICS Plus influence into the strategic playground of oil geopolitics as highlighted by experts. Ever heard of OPEC Plus? They're like the Grand Council of oil exporting nations. For years, many of its members have been under pressure, feeling the pinch of Western sanctions. They've seen investments and exports dwindle. With recent moves from the EU, like the ban on Russian crude oil and price limits, the pressure's only mounted. Instead of just limiting oil exports, these sanctions are now eyeing the revenue streams. But here's the twist. Trading within BRICS just skyrocketed in importance. As tensions rise, the world's energy landscape seems to be splitting in two, those who back the Western sanctions on Russia and those who don't. Russia and China, two BRICS heavyweights, have big dreams. They envision a BRICS Plus force that can stand toe-to-toe with the mighty G7. But here's some tea from the United States Institute of Peace. Many BRICS members aren't looking for a fight. They just want to give their economies a good old boost. In essence, the BRICS Plus expansion isn't just about trade and numbers. It's about shaping the future of global oil politics. Challenges arise. Now expanding BRICS? It's not as easy as it sounds. Think of BRICS as a team that has always worked together smoothly. They've managed to agree on many things without creating a formal setup or a main office to make decisions. But as this team grows, agreeing on things might become a bit trickier. It's like adding more cooks to a kitchen. They'll need some new ground rules. Then there's the question: who gets to join the team? All 5 members said yes to adding more members, but each has its reasons. China sees a bigger BRICS as more countries join their side, especially when they're competing with the US on the global stage. But countries like India, Brazil, and South Africa are a bit more cautious. They worry that with more members, their voices might get lost in the crowd. India's even said, let's make sure we know what we want from new members before letting them in. Now, the type of countries joining is also a big deal. If Saudi Arabia and the UAE join, it might seem like a straightforward decision. But if Iran joins, some countries, especially in the West, might see it as BRICS challenging them. Meanwhile, having Saudi Arabia and the UAE might show that BRICS is trying to be more open to change. So what's BRICS really about? Are they all about business, or are there bigger political goals? Do they just want to make small changes to the world order, or are they looking for a big shakeup? With the new members, these questions are still up in the air. All right, that is it for today. From the BRICS group's bold maneuvers in the global oil arena to the challenges and dynamics of its expansion, it's evident that the global stage is buzzing with activity. As this group welcomes new players, big questions loom. How will the BRICS navigate its newfound size? Will economic dreams override political aspirations or vice versa? And in this dance of nations, where will the balance of power ultimately tip? Let's wait and watch.